What is the most important and special thing about motherhood?
Motherhood is one of the few experiences in life where there's a complete transformation of emotional, physical, and mental being. Many women feel, I'm doing well, blood pressure, diabetes, and growth issues can develop silently.
Ahar Vihar Nidra, that is something which is extremely important so that it is not only conceiving the baby but carrying the pregnancy in a healthier way without any complications.
What age you introduce grains and
After
other
6
foods?
months, we generally can introduce grains one by one at a time.
As we know that how Jija Mata, right when she was pregnant, she had a vision for a child. Who will make my country free? And just the mother's vision, with the ancient wisdom of Garbhasanskar, she gave birth to Shivaji Maharaj. We welcome all of you on the occasion of Mother's Day. Since God could not be present everywhere, He has created mothers. Mother is the first home of a child. She is the first teacher, first doctor, and first source of nourishment. Today, on the occasion of Mother's Day, we are going to have a podcast on motherhood. Let me tell you one very beautiful story. Many years back, I was in Vrindavan, and there's a great guru, Ramesh Baba. He narrated this story to me. When he was young, he used to go to Mathura to give his exams for music, and he used to stay at somebody's house. That house had 4 daughters. When Ramesh Baba, who would get up in the morning for studies, right opposite his room was the daughter's room. And the first daughter would come out and she would cover her eyes and walk away. The second daughter also would do the same. Third one also did the same. And the fourth one also did the same. So in the evening, Babaji Maharaj asked them, then why did you do this? So they explained that our mother has actually taught us that as soon as you get up in the morning, you should only see the deities of Radha and Krishna of our house. And since we saw your face, we covered our eyes. After many, many years, almost 20 years, once one lady came with 2 children to Babaji's ashram. And she asked Babaji, do you remember us? And Babaji was not remembering her. And then she reminded that how, Babaji used to go to her house for giving music exams. And immediately Babaji said, Arey, how can I forget you? And he showed a locket in his neck. And he opened the locket and he said, see, there is picture of Radha and Krishna. Since the day you all told me that your mother has given you the instruction to see only Radha and Krishna as soon as you get up, even I follow the same habit. And not only I do it, thousands of people who hear my lectures, I tell them the same thing and they all are following this practice. So let us understand the power of one mother. What one mother taught her daughters has actually become practice for thousands of people. That's the power of a mother. So today we are very fortunate to have 3 very senior consultants from our Bhaktivedanta Hospital and Research Institute. We have our first panelist, our senior gynecologist, Dr. Kamal Priya. We have our pediatrician, chief pediatrician at Bhaktivedanta Hospital and Research Institute, Dr. Anuradha Joshi. And we have Vaidehi Nawathe ma'am, who is the chief dietitian at Bhaktivedanta Hospital and Research Institute. So we welcome 3 of you. So Dr. Kamal Priya, first question for you. What is the most important and special thing about motherhood?
Yeah, first of all, I wish happy Mother's Day for everyone. Motherhood is one of the few experiences in life where there's a complete transformation of emotional, physical, and mental being, and where there's a strong bonding of mother and the child. As a obstetrician, I see just not birth of a baby, but there's a birth of a mother as well. It's a unique thing.
We should not think that once we become a mother, our identity has disappeared. Most important is your emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual well being. Because a healthy mother makes healthy children and healthy nations. What is the most emotional moment you have seen in your journey?
In my journey, I think the birth of a child, the first cry of a child, which after a mother goes through, a pregnant woman goes through, is the most special thing. Especially some mothers go through difficult labor, they go through difficult pregnancies, high risk pregnancies, or infertility. And after such a long struggle, the first cry of the baby is such a unique and very special and emotionally touching.
I'm sure you also was very happy to hear the
That
first
is,
cry.
that is the most happiest moment for the obstetrician and for the parents.
And for the pediatrician. Children do not inherit only genes, but they inherit emotional culture. And mother is the one who makes that culture at home very vibrant, loving, and peaceful. What is the most important and special thing about motherhood?
What I feel is that the emotional bonding and the connection between the baby and the mother, that is the bond which is the most precious and wonderful. We see many times we see sick babies, nothing works, no painkiller works, but the mother's lap does wonderful things. The baby is calm and comfortable in the mother's lap. So that I think the connection between the two, which gives strength to the baby as well as the mother, and which is lifelong.
The lap of a mother is a child's first temple. What is the most common mistakes new parents make?
Nowadays, new parents, they are sometimes confused and between the traditional age old practices and the new modern medicine, what to follow. But ideally they should go, means our age old traditional wisdom is based on science, so they should follow those traditional practices, as well as they should try to learn the new modern medicine also, which is based on logic. So I think nowadays new parents, they need some help regarding this.
And that is why at Bhaktivedanta Hospital and Research Institute we have Garbhasanskar program, where our mothers are not only taken care during pregnancy, we are exactly teaching them the ancient Vedic wisdom, where they can learn how to connect with the child right during the pregnancy. We have different techniques by which they can not only improve the physical and mental well-being, but also spiritual well-being of the child. As we know that how Jijamata, right when she was pregnant, she had a vision for a child, that she wanted a child who could actually give them freedom from the traitors. And her husband refused, her father refused, and she said, I will get a son who will make my country free. And just the mother's vision, with the ancient wisdom of Garbhasanskar, she gave birth to Shivaji Maharaj, and who actually fulfilled her dream. So thank you, madam, for telling us this. Hello, Vedehi ma'am. So my question to you is, what does nourishing a mother mean at every stage of her life? Maybe from the menarche to premenopausal.
Actually, wonderful question. See, what happens that the mother's journey starts from preconception, okay, when she's going to be mother, and from there that journey actually goes on till post menopause. But what happens, we are so much attached to the nutrition care during preconception and during pregnancy and during lactation, but post that phase, when she enters into the different life stage, the nutrition is mostly forgotten about. So I strongly believe it's a mother's journey. Along with mother's journey, it's a hormonal journey. And at each stage, the nutritional requirements are different. So we have to be careful exactly what to introduce, what to remove, how much quantity, when to add. All those things matter a lot.
A mother not only nourishes the body, but she also nourishes the heart, character, and soul of the child. Question to you, Dr. Kamalpriya ma'am. What is the importance of regular checkups during pregnancy?
It's very important that they have to go and seek a guided obstetrician regularly, because we have to monitor the fetal growth well-being and also have to detect any blood pressure, anemia, hypertension, such complications, and they have to get nutritional supplements, dietary advice. So it is very prudent that they have to go and seek a proper obstetric advice. That's a myth that many women feel, I'm doing well, my baby movements I'm able to feel, so I need not have regular checkup. But blood pressure, diabetes, and the growth issues can develop silently without we getting to know it. Only the obstetrician can pick up and do the milk.
Perfect parenting does not require perfect circumstances. So, as per your experience, what is the biggest mistakes women are making during their pregnancy?
One is they're not keeping up their regular antenatal visits. As you asked, they have to be very cautious to keep, as per the doctor's advice, regular antenatal checkups. And second is believing the social media. Sometimes they take the social media advices and follow, because every woman is different, every pregnancy is different, and it needs to be individualized. So you have to check a gynec opinion, and they will be able to tell what is good for you, what is good for. It's not like a simple blanket
Standard.
treatment. It is a tailored management. And another thing, self medication. May it be a simple painkiller or it may be remedial. Check with the doctor whether it's safe, because there are few medicines which are can be very harmful to the thing. So avoid taking things. And another mistakes what commonly people do is improper nutrition, poor nutrition. Sometimes under eating, sometimes overeating. So these things needs to be taken care and they should be.
Emotional resilience in mothers create the same resilience in children. We have the great example of Maharani Kunti, who brought up her children in the initial years in the forest, and that's how Pandavas were the greatest and most powerful human being which ever existed on this planet Earth. Maharani Kunti, she was a widow, she had lots of political pressure and many challenges. But her emotional resilience actually gave that strength to her children. Doctor, please tell us about some myths versus facts during pregnancy.
One of the common myths is I have to eat for two. It's not the double the quantity, but it is the quality food which is important. Another myth is women who have hormones, the baby has lot of health. There's no such scientific proof, and it is a thing. And people say if you do exercise, it can harm the baby. But under medical supervision, proper regular exercise and yoga will facilitate a smoother pregnancy, improves the back pain, and makes the mother much more healthier. Another commonest myth is pregnancy means complete bed rest. My prof used to say, give rest to the bed also, because unless it's medically indicated, the woman should be active as far as possible. So these are some of the common myths which needs to be avoided.
Motherhood is the purest expression of selfless service. Dr. Anuradha, as doctors, we know right from the day of conception till 2 years, almost 1,000 days are most crucial in a human being's life. Can you please throw some lights on feeding basics, sleep patterns of a child?
The nutrition requirements of the baby, they depend on the age of the child. From birth till 6 months, generally we give exclusive breastfeeding. Generally, in most of the mothers, they are able to breastfeed the baby because it is a natural process. If by some circumstances, if the mother is unable to breastfeed the baby can be given formula feed. In such conditions, generally, what we do is we can start early weaning diets around 5 months. But when the baby is on exclusive breastfeeding, generally weaning diets can be started after 6 months of age. It is a myth among people that cow milk given in a diluted form is a good nutrition. But it is important to know that cow milk has certain factors which can affect the baby's growth. So we should try to avoid it during the first 6 months of life. After 1 year, generally the babies can have normal family food, what the other family members have.
What age you introduce grains and
After
other
6
foods?
months, we generally can introduce grains one by one at a time. Generally, we introduce rice-based feeds initially, and later on add on one grain at a time.
Many times I see that mothers, crush everything in the mixture grinder and give. Is it
Yeah,
necessary?
it is necessary for only first few months. After means till 8 to 9 months. Later on, hand smashed foods also can be given to the baby. That actually stimulates their development of their feeding habits is better if we are giving hand smashed foods also. So,
So it is not
another-
necessary that compulsory you have to grind everything, right?
Not necessary.
Gums are quite strong to chew.
True. Also, it is necessary to give diverse foods to the babies. We should not give means we should try to introduce different types of foods to the baby in the life so that there are less chances to develop food allergies in the future.
What about sleep pattern?
For sleep, generally newborn babies they need around 20 to 22 hours of sleep in a day. As the baby grows old, the sleeps become less, and but initially they take short naps, but as the baby grows, the sleep gets consolidated. Generally, after 1 year, they have around 14 to 16 hours of sleep. And adolescent age group, they generally take 9 to 10 hours of sleep, which is adequate for their growth.
Yeah, that is why it is very important for the new mothers. Whenever the child sleeps during the day, you also sleep because your nights are not going to be full night sleep. Huh? I have seen many mothers, as soon as the child is asleep, they start their mobile, checking their WhatsApp and scrolling. A simple advice, when the baby sleeps in the first 3 months after delivery, you also sleep because your body also needs rest, right? Okay, Vaidehi ma'am, let me come to the question of preconception before pregnancy. What do you think? What is the importance of nutrition, lifestyle, your exercise, your weight, and different habits on the fertility and on during pregnancy?
It's actually very important. See, I would talk about the phase even before preconception, that is when the menarche starts. So, unfortunately, the lifestyle is so bad in terms of the girls want to lose weight, or they go on those fat diets like low carb, or very high protein, or suddenly starting with some extensive exercises, or not doing any activities at all, along with the emotional stress. So, all those habits definitely affect the fertility status. Not only the egg quality, but the fertility status also. Also, delayed marriage age, that is another story. But when we talk from the lifestyle point of view, ahar, vihar, nidra, that is something which is extremely important, so that it is not only conceiving the baby, but carrying the pregnancy in a healthier way without any complications and delivering a healthy baby. All those things are very important. So that is why what you eat, how much you eat, when you eat, how the weight is maintained, not necessarily exactly as per the height and weight, but as per the body frame. Along with that, the adequate sleep, because there's something called a circadian rhythm, where the sleeping is in the ideal sleeping time. When I talk to my patients, the teenage girls, it is 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. is actually the sleeping time. So that is absolutely against the nature's rhythm, which affect the fertility in future. So that is why sleeping on the right time, okay, getting up before sunrise, and along with that some activities which are okay for you. In the sense, I am a gym person, so I can very well work in the gym, but I am not a gym person. I just go for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, long walks, I'm happy. So whichever exercise you like, which has to be done, because the consistency is maintained. Otherwise, out of enthusiasm, something is started and it is forgotten about. So, if at all we maintain the consistency, not only in terms of the exercise, but the diet and sleep, then definitely the entire pregnancy, the healthy pregnancy and healthy pregnancy outcome is definitely possible.
Can you suggest some nutritional food which is must preconceptionally so that it helps them to conceive better?
So we always talk about macronutrients, that is carbohydrate, protein, fat, but we should not miss out something on the micronutrients in terms of say calcium, iron, folic acid. So these what we call as the functional foods. So roti, sabji, dal, chawal is something which is absolutely common. But apart from that, inclusion of the fruits. So we say 5 a day. That is at least 2 to 3 fruits a day, which are seasonally available, which will take care of the macronutrient requirement. And along with that, the vegetables, at least 2 to maximum 3 servings per day. That is what we aim at. Okay, as Dr. Anuradha mentioned about having the diversity. So having the seasonal vegetables and fruits in the adequate quantity will take care of the requirement. And second functional food is the nuts. So normally there's a notion like, okay, I want to lose weight, I can't eat the almonds and walnuts. So almonds, walnuts, cashew nuts, if consumed in the larger quantity in the fried form or the salted form, is not advisable. But whatever fits in your fist, that is what I normally advise. So that is as per the body frame. So that one feastful of mixed nuts and dry fruits are definitely advisable at least once a day, at least in the sense once a day for sure. Apart from that, the seeds, because seeds have very extremely important role on the moon cycle. So if the seeds are consumed like flaxseed, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, and sesame seeds, that till what we say, if at all in the rotational basis, if at all they are maintained, then the moon cycle also gets regularized, which is I'm sure the important factor for conceiving in the future.
Yeah, I have also heard that for first 15 days after your period, you should have like seeds and pumpkin seeds. And after 15 days, if you have sesame seeds and sunflower seeds, it really helps in your regularizing your periods. Okay, Dr. Kamal Priya, what do you think about normal delivery versus C-section? Because nowadays, many patients, they say that this hospital does maximum C-section. If you go to this doctor, he always does C-section. So can you please throw some light on this, and what are the, how to prepare mentally and physically for a delivery?
Oh, that's very, very important and a real question which most of the mothers, pregnant women have. Actually, if you see, always the biggest misconception about normal delivery and C-section is it's always considered normal delivery is superior, whereas C-section is like sometimes done
Inferior.
casually. But if you see, normal delivery is definitely the recovery is faster, the pain is less. But in cesarean section, sometimes they are done where it could be really life-saving for the mother and the baby. And many people are of the misconception that doctors chose to do C-section casually, but most of the time, a genuine doctor will not do that. It's only done for a genuine medical indication. Sometimes the baby may be under distress, or there could be some placenta which is covering, or there could be failure to progress. So only when there's a genuine indication, C-sections are done. So what is the ultimate goal of any pregnancy? We want a healthy baby and healthy mother. I always tell my pregnant patients, we want at the end of the day a healthy mother and a healthy baby. So definitely the mode of delivery is important. We would encourage normal, but when the question comes about the baby is at risk or mother's life is at risk, we have to go for C-section.
So I would say that once you choose your obstetrician, just have trust in your doctor. Please do not doubt. Do not listen to rumors or do not listen to gossip. Once you have chosen your gynec and obstetrician, just have full trust. Dr. Anuradha, next question is for you. Why it is critical to vaccinate your child? Because nowadays we see so many things over social media that no, vaccination is not important. In fact, it is causing harm to the baby. Can you please throw some light on this?
Yes. Nowadays, we see that many parents they are afraid about vaccines because they on social media there are many people are spreading wrong information regarding the some health adverse effects regarding vaccine. But we should understand that the vaccines are the one which protect the child against particular diseases. They boost up the immunity and protect the child against particular virus or particular diseases. Vaccination is most important for the child's immunity.
Yeah, we must understand when people do not vaccinate their children, they end up with different diseases. And then they repent, oh, I should have given the vaccine. Thank you, ma'am. Vaidehi, ma'am. We have heard that during pregnancy, eating is necessary. But can you please throw some lights on, what nutrition, what lifestyle, what exercise a pregnant mother should do? And also post delivery during lactation period, what should be her nutritional requirement and what diet and exercise she should?
Yeah. Thank you for the wonderful question. See, actually, eating for two is important, but in terms of the quality of the nutrients and not the quantity of the food. Okay, so normally mothers start eating double. So, if at all eating one chapati, start eating two chapatis, that kind of thing. But that unnecessary will lead to the weight gain, which is not needed. But we have to increase the intake of the proteins, which is in need, like during pregnancy as well as during lactation. We have additional need of 15 grams during pregnancy and 10 grams additional protein during lactation. So this is what when we say eating for two. So you have to take care of the protein requirement of the growing fetus also and the baby as well as of the nourishing mother also. Apart from the proteins, we have something called as some micronutrients like calcium. When somebody who is not drinking milk at all throughout the life, but suddenly become conscious like okay, now to start drinking milk. So milk consumption for the calcium and protein is important. For any reason, girl or the mother to be mother is not able to have it, then we have other dairy options available. We have ragi, we have sprouts, so that we have varied options, vegetarian options available, which will take care of the protein as well as the calcium. Okay, so the weight gain is something which is important criteria. So first trimester, as we all know, that because of the nausea, vomiting, or some other physiological conditions, the intake is not much, so weight may remain same or mothers may lose little weight, that's fine. But during second trimester and third trimester, the weight goes up. So ideally it is said, if at all the preconception weight is normal, ideal, then we expect around the weight gain ranging from say from 10 kgs to 12 kgs to 14 kgs. It may differ from person to person. But if at all a girl is or to be mother is already obese, then in that case we do not aim for the weight gain of the mother, but we are interested in weight gain of the growing fetus. So weight is something which has to be definitely observed, because if weight is not considered, then we invite unnecessary pregnancy related complications like pregnancy induced hypertension or gestational diabetes kind of thing. So we have to be very careful in choosing the right food in the right quantity in the increasing order during the pregnancy as well as lactation. When you asked about the lactation, so about the pregnancy, we should be assured about the weight gain, the ideal weight gain. But during the lactation, there's something called as galactogogues. So galactogogues are basically something which will increase the milk production. So there are certain Indian foods which are available which will help increase the milk production, because normally, as the madam also will agree with me, that in a mother, on anxious mother or recently delivered, newly delivered mother, दूध नहीं आ रहा है. So that kind of conception that creates the havoc. But actually the hormonal shift definitely happens, and those milk producing glands are actually formed during pregnancy itself in the third trimester. So it is not that after delivery suddenly milk does not come. It doesn't happen that way, provided in some other clinical conditions I will not mention here, but in general. So what we advise, including those galactogogues, like for example, say fenugreek seeds, or we have dry ginger, what we call as sont. We have something called as halim or garden cress seeds taken in the soaked form. A good amount of proteins in the form of the dairy or in the form of the pulses or the sprouts. So if at all we go gradually, definitely the pregnancy as well as the lactation phase goes on very smoothly. There are many misconceptions here, like after pregnancy, no, or after delivery, fat-free food to be consumed, or no chapatis or no rice, something like that. But what I advise, whatever is the regional practice, whatever you know that your gut can tolerate, please go ahead with that. Both the extremes to be avoided. That suddenly starting the loads of ghee in the diet or suddenly stopping everything from the diet, both the extremes are not advisable.
What is the importance of hydration during the lactation period?
It's extremely important, because it is not only during pregnancy, the regular hydration what we consume, whatever we advise as per the body weight, but during pregnancy, the adequate amount of fluid also is needed in the placenta. Along with that, the blood volume also increases. So a good hydration is important. So if at all to be mother is, the preconception water intake is, say for example, 2 liters. I'm just taking the example. Then during pregnancy, it has to go up to 3 liters. Okay, because dehydration can affect not only the pregnancy amniotic fluid, not only during pregnancy, but post lactation also. And what we consider this fatigue and all, it is normally connected to the delivery process. Obviously it is there, but also dehydration also can cause fatigue or low energy levels, apart from other reasons. So maintaining good hydration, not necessarily in the form of the water only. If at all for any reason water is not able to be consumed, then we can include the good warm vegetable soups, or moong ka pani, dal water kind of thing. But this after pregnancy or after delivery, the fluids have to be warm. सोंठ का पानी हम बताते हैं कि if at all you are having the water, so instead of drinking regular water, prefer warm water where we can put some ajma or we can put some dry ginger in the water itself, so that we are giving adequate hydration which is retained or utilized by the body.
I advise most of the patients that you increase the size of your glass. Many times they're used to small glass, but if you that have big lassi glass, then when you have that water, at least at a time you are drinking almost 300 to 400
Absolutely.
ml water. That actually solves a lot of problem. Children absorb in whatever environment they are kept. So it is a primary duty of a mother to give those happy memories to the children and give healthy diets to the children, so that they are physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually well nourished. Okay, Dr. Kamal Priya, we know now most of the girls, are working, women are working, and they are having pregnancy late. So, what are the challenges a modern mother faces?
Yeah, that's a very prudent, important question in nowadays scenario, because many of the women of the mother going to be mother, they are working, and because of the social structure, because of education and career, and not settling in the family thing, they delay their conception. So because of delayed conception, there could be some challenges, and most they are more prone for some risk complications. They can develop high blood pressure, diabetes, and difficult labor, and sometimes even getting pregnant, chromosomal abnormalities. So these are the few challenges which not necessarily everybody who goes beyond over age they have this, but there is a possibility of this. So this adds on to already existing stress. So they have to be mindful and should have a support system. Another important challenges which most of the mother face is career. Mothers, especially working mother, they have the additional burden of work, and they have always they try to be perfect. Everybody wants to be have a perfect mother. So they have the burden of work and also maintaining the family and meeting the demands of the baby. And so when they try to balance all these things, it could be a really challenge. So we need to tell them it's important to take help. Support system. Nowadays, we have nuclear families. We don't have the big joint family system. So because of that, many a times it's just mother who has to manage the baby all, the entire 24 hours, and the husband may be busy with work. So she should not hesitate to ask for help, be it from the family or from the husband or from the other support system. It's very important that they have to get help, because she also needs physically, mentally, and emotionally. She also needs time and help for herself and also to take care of the baby. I think these are the few challenges which a modern woman nowadays is facing and society has to help.
When a child comes back home from the school and mother is there, happy mother is there, and he eats food from the mother's hands, that causes great growth and prevents many, many illnesses. So, healthy mothers will build healthy nations. Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Anuradha, ma'am, can you please tell us what are the red flags? When should parents not ignore symptoms?
Yes, a nice question, because in today's scenario, as Kamalpriya madam told, that the parents are working, so they might miss some or ignore some signs and symptoms which are very crucial for the child's development. For example, when the child doesn't walk at around 18 months, generally the parents they pick up these symptoms like not walking around 1 year or 1.5 year. But there are other crucial symptoms like if the child doesn't speak meaningful words at around 18 months, this is a very important milestone, and if he doesn't do, then it can be a sign of some underlying disease. And other things like sometimes they lose their acquired milestones, like sometimes the children they have achieved a particular milestone, but then they lose that. For example, if they have started speaking and later on they stop that development, this is another an alarming symptom which can be a sign of some neurological problem. Along with the vaccination charts, generally pediatricians provide developmental charts also. These are also available online. So they can track that and be aware of what important milestone the child has to achieve at a particular age.
Thank you. So, Vaidehi ma'am, usually it is said that, when you become pregnant, after that you put on minimum 5 to 6 kilos of weight in your first pregnancy, and in your second pregnancy, by the time you realize that your two kids are 7 to 8 years old, you have already gained 10 to 12 kgs of weight. So, can you please throw some light on how a busy mother can take care of her nutrition, her habits, her exercise, so that she not only is healthy, but also she has full energy and she doesn't feel exhausted and fatigued with all the new responsibilities of being a mother?
So when a woman becomes a mother, the priorities change. When she's a girl, it is all me, me, and about me. But when the family starts getting bigger, then the priorities change. So in that case, what happens? The food, the content, quantity, quality, everything is compromised. So whatever is stale food, leftover food is consumed, on the go food is consumed, or if at all food the suppose I have seen many patients where they say we get apples for example, and then it is distributed. So if at all any fruit is left, then I will eat. If not left, then I let go. So whatever is left over, not only in terms of the quantity but the content also, then it is something which is leading to the deficient increasing the deficiencies. And what I mentioned in the earlier talk what we had, where it is a hormonal journey actually. It is not only which hormones are secreted, but the way they are processed in the body and way they are excreted out of the body. So it's a journey which is happening. So hormone secretion may happen, but excretion may not happen. So where the liver is involved. So these wrong habits will not only affect. So when you say about weight, it is basically the reason lies in your gut, it lies in your liver. So if at all we have the balance in those habits, what I always call it as a micro habits. So overnight the things may not change. And unfortunately, this is something which is very near to my heart. What I always say, that a mother is anxious, mother is always in a fight or flight mode. So constantly the things, the nervous system is always, the switch is constantly on. And if this switch is constantly on, the hormonal processing will not happen the way it should happen. And then I feel, okay, I'm having my breakfast, I'm having home cooked food, but still why my energy levels are low. So that is why I always advise that spending some time, what I call it as me time, is important. Developing the micro habits where I know I am supposed to have breakfast, I am supposed to have nuts and seeds. So always I ask my patients that you go and do some shopping for yourself. Shopping not in terms of the jewelry and sari, but apart from the tiny dabbas, very cute one, small dabbas kind of thing. So that is my own dabba, where I will have seeds, where I will have nuts and dry fruits. So it may sound little childish, but if at all this is a part of your to-do list or a daily basis, it is available with you, then those micro habits are developed, not only in terms of the food habits, but in terms of some moving physical activities, in terms of the emotional balance, what I say as me time, some breathing activities. So out of 24 hours, I advise them, then it is simple understanding is I don't have time. So what I advise, कि ठीक है, you consider you have only 23 hours. Forget 1 hour. So for us, it is 24 hours. For a mother, it may be 23 hours. So that 1 hour is exclusively, so you plan everything for 23 hours, but that 1 hour is exclusively for your food planning, for your exercise planning, and for spending some time with yourself, because I always believe that you are the most important person in your life.
Yes, that's why it is very important for all mothers to have self care. So, in my understanding, mothers should also do their self care. It is important for their physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual growth. When a mother is healthy, the entire family is healthy. Janani Janmabhumischa Swargadapi Gariyasi. A mother and motherland are greater than even heaven. This is what our Ramayana says. So now let us have a rapid fire questions. What is the one must do daily habit as per you?
A healthy mother is not selfish. It is essential. She should allocate at least 20 to 30 minutes to take care of herself, like proper diet, walking, exercise, and mental well-being.
Daily outdoor play is must for every child.
Eating freshly cooked food in a calm state of mind.
Biggest myth.
Excessive weight gain in a child and chubbiness that is ignored as normal, but it is a myth. It can be a sign of early obesity.
And for a mother,
For a mother, lack of sleep at night for caring for your child, feeding, or any child rearing practices is not always normal. Mothers also need adequate sleep that for the health of the mother as well as the baby.
yes, ma'am.
Same diet followed throughout all the life stages is a myth.
Mother must always be strong is a myth. Mother seeking help is also a strength.
One ignored health sign.
Persistent exhaustion. Many times they attribute being a normal thing, but it could be because of some underlying anemia, fatigue, and sleep deprivation and postpartum depression. It needs to be
Addressed.
Child not making adequate eye contact with the parents is a sign, can be a cause of underlying disease.
Constant mood swings and food cravings.
Please share with our audience one message for all the mothers.
Mothers should not eat less, but they should eat smartly so that nourishment happens through.
to every mother. Please remember that perfection is not necessary. You are already doing very good. Motherhood is very special. It could be very tiring emotionally, physically, and socially and family wise. What you're doing is amazing. Your health is as important as your child's. So your well-being is matters as good as your child.
Provide a good, healthy environment and happy environment for the baby at home so that baby can grow naturally well.
Thank you very much, ma'ams. It is such a wonderful session, and we understand that role of mother is so important in the growth of a human being.